Welcome one and all to my first ever Steven Universe theories. So please go easy on me if I get this wrong. The theory is Pearl was Rose's pearl. Let's get right into it. A show like Steven Universe hardly needs any introduction, so let's get right into it. First up, this episode centered a lot on Pearl and Peridot, and we get to see Pearl in a light that we never thought was possible. I, for one, I was really shocked when I saw this episode. Let's take a look.
Good. Yes, this is adequate. Thank you. You can go now.
What?
That will be all.
How do you get her to leave?
There was initial confusion when everything started because Peridot was treating Pearl how she normally would treat a Pearl, but Steven and Pearl don't get what's going on and are, for the most part, confused as to why Peridot is treating Pearl like a servant.
Excuse me, I am not leaving.
Yeah, she's gotta stay and help build the drill thing, right?
No, you're confused. A pearl can't build a thing like this.
Why not?
Because pearls aren't for this. They're for standing around and looking nice and holding your stuff for you, right?
Peridot refers to Pearl as a pearl, not even Pearl, like she's just a drone in a sea of Star Wars clones. Pearl, on the other hand, looks like my mom after I've done something really stupid. Everyone's confused and no one knows what the heck is going on.
That's enough. If we're going to work together, you're going to have to listen to me.
Listen to you? Did you teach her to talk like this?
Peridot gives Pearl no respect and even laughs right in her face, as if what Pearl is saying doesn't even make sense, which is what people will normally do to someone of lower ranking or a maid who can't tell you to do anything because they're beneath you.
What are you talking about?
She's a pearl. She's a made-to-order servant, just like the hundreds of other pearls being flaunted around back on Homeworld.
Yeah, that almost broke my mind too.
Wait, there's hundreds of pearls?
Well, yes, but...
And she looks like a fancy one, too.
This is where things get interesting. Peridot says Pearl looks like a fancy one, and if gems have hundreds of pearls, then a fancy one will be for someone of higher ranking, like Rose was. I'm sure you guys all know those theories about how Rose was someone of importance in a diamond something. I can't remember right now. But what I'm trying to say is, if Pearl was Rose's pearl, she would have to be a fancy one because Rose was of high status. Maybe Pearl was with Rose and then Rose freed her or allowed her to be who she wanted to be. That's why in the famous episode Jailbreak, Jasper referred to Pearl as Defective.
Hundreds of pearls.
So, who do you belong to anyway?
Nobody!
Then, what are you for?
This is also something that got me thinking. If Pearl belonged to nobody, then why was she so enamored with Rose? And why did she get so defensive when Peridot asked her who she belonged to when, in fact, pearls always belong to someone? This is really confusing, and it's something I really hope Steven Universe explores in the future, because Pearl just became, like, the most interesting character. Like, take a step, Garnet, it's Pearl's time to shine.
Well, you can belong to me for now. A Peridot with a pearl. What would they say back home?
Peridot just made it very clear that Peridots can have pearls, and there are also multiple Peridots like there are multiple pearls. But if a Peridot can't own a pearl, that means someone of higher status has to have a pearl, which goes back to my statement of why Rose would have Pearl, because Rose is obviously someone of higher status if she could control a freaking army. But if you put into account what Pearl said, that she belonged to no one and that she was defective, maybe that's why she likes Rose so much, because Rose accepted her for who she is. Maybe Pearl has an Amethyst kind of story here where she stayed in the ground too long or something that made her defective and no one wanted her as a Pearl. This just makes my mind go in a bunch of new directions.
Now listen here, you tiny twerp. In case you've forgotten, you're on our turf now. And I didn't fight a 1,000-year war for this planet's independence to take orders from the likes of you!
Excuse me? I am a natural technician and a certified kindergartner. I was made for this. You were made to take orders, not to give them.
Peridot makes it clear what she thinks of Pearl and her kind. Peridot makes it clear that she will never respect Rose as a normal gem and how she is beneath her, even though her herself is a pair of worker drones. But I doubt that's coming into her mind right now. So far what we've gathered is that Pearl loved Rose, she was always by her side, and she is fancy. These are pretty good circumstances to stand by from my point of view, because this is my video after all. But Pearl loved Rose a little too much for comfort. Even I thought she had romantic feelings for her. But if she was made for Rose, it would be understandable why she loved her so much and why she literally worshipped her. It is stated on numerous occasions how Pearl was constantly by Rose's side, like a maid would be. And Peridot just says she was fancy, and like I said, I believe fancy things are for the rich. Don't you? By Pearl being Rose's pearl, it will explain why she loved her so much, was always by her side, and would kind of shine some light why someone as skinny and weak as her would be in a 1,000-year war. Come on, guys. If you believe this series, put some of your own thoughts in the comment section below. Like I said, this is my first video. If I sound weird or rough or gruff, I'm sorry. Don't crucify me. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if I gave you a horrible viewing experience, and I'll try to be better from now on. Anyway, peace out. Love to Steven Universe, and don't forget to subscribe.